The whole MamaMax situation is getting more serious than before. Hello everyone, it's Mr. Troll delivering an update. Now if you think of YouTubers who were once great content creators but later have fallen from grace, who comes to mind? And I'm not talking about YouTubers like EDP445 or Illuminati, who fell off because they were exposed for committing atrocities. I'm talking about YouTubers who once were producing great content, but now their content is shit. So, who comes to mind? Sneeko? Boogie2988? Future me? Current me? Well, let me tell you that the YouTuber who has probably fallen from grace harder than any one of those others would be MamaMax. He used to be a well-respected content creator who was talking about anime and stuff, but ever since he tried to cancel Charlie, aka Moist Critical, aka Penguin Zero, aka the YouTuber who has many names, he started going in a downward spiral. That cancellation video marks the exact moment when MamaMax fell off, the moment MamaMax jumped the shark, or nuked the fridge, or however you wanna call the phenomenon of someone suddenly going downhill. Now in case you might not know, MamaMax basically kept begging Penguin Zero to talk about subjects that MamaMax thought were more important than whatever Penguin Zero was actually talking about. However, Penguin Zero did not respond to MamaMax, and MamaMax thought Penguin Zero was ghosting him. Well, turns out, the reason Penguin Zero did not respond was because he had COVID.
Stop ignoring MamaMax. Yeah, so here, you want me to talk about it a little bit? That rubbed me the wrong way. Apparently, when I had COVID, he messaged me a couple times and I never saw it. And now he's taken that as me ghosting him and ignoring his very important mission. And it really rubs me the wrong way.
Now I believe there is a reason why Penguin Zero does not talk about serious topics like vampire cults and stuff. And that is because talking about such dark and serious topics is one of the hardest things to do. And at the end of the video you will understand why. But for example, MamaMax himself decided to take on this super difficult challenge. And guess what? He failed. He failed horribly. MamaMax has been accused of not doing proper research when accusing people of doing serious things, and he came across as slandering innocent people pretty much. I have already talked about MamaMax on my channel twice, but the situation with him is such a rabbit hole that there is always something more to say about him. In fact, there have been literal documentaries made on him. There exists on YouTube this 1 hour long monstrosity made by none other than some ordinary gamers, aka Mudahar. Now I'm gonna show you snippets of this documentary video. I'm not gonna show you the whole thing because I personally have more important things to do than sitting through a 1 hour video. But if you have time to spare, you should watch it. I have watched some of the documentary myself.
It's a video about someone I and many in the community considered a friend. Today, I personally don't consider this person a friend. I consider them a liar, both professionally and on a personal level regarding very personal things. But that's me going into things that I shouldn't need to. I also didn't want to make a video on this because I'm not an expert on the topics that we are completely discussing today.
That's right. The same thing goes for Mr. Troll. I don't intend to go into full detail mode here because I don't want to be accused of spreading misinformation the way MamaMax is. I am not competent enough to do proper research on topics like this, and neither is Mudahar, and neither is MamaMax himself. Therefore, this video should only serve as an overlay of some of MamaMax's slip-ups. However, you should take what I say with a grain of salt, and if you want more information on a deeper level, then go watch those hour-long documentaries or do your own research.
Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator.
Ha ha ha. This kind of caught me off guard, but it needs to be said. The fact that MamaMax talks about all of those serious topics using this dark, edgy monster voice, like, I get the tone he is going for, but the problem with it is that for the vast majority of people, it just comes across as manipulative. Like he forces you to be terrified by using a terrifying voice or something. No, people should not be forced to feel horror. They should have the choice to feel horror or not feel horror based on the topics you are talking about. And this is another reason why talking about serious topics is a difficult task. When you talk about serious topics, you have to be serious yourself. When you try to use this corny movie villain voice, it just comes off as tasteless and tone deaf to many people who might be listening to you. Now, MamaMax has made an apology video, and while it's not the worst YouTube apology video I have seen, it is probably the weirdest. Well, not the weirdest, but one of those WTF videos. Now, 99% of the video is just like any typical apology video, except he does apologize to Penguin Zero, which I do admire.
I'm sorry to Charlie for dragging him into a case that is not necessarily his fight.
That's right, it is not his fight, and it's neither your fight. This is the fight of actual FBI, not some random YouTuber.
And I'm sorry to Charlie. I really am sorry. I did not mean to make you upset.
Also, he's at least not using the movie villain voice in this video, so that's another thing I appreciate. However, the reason why this apology is so bizarre is because of the ending. Who is that? Is it his mama? Just like with the villain voice, I get the tone he is going for. And just like with the villain voice, it comes across as manipulative. He basically uses that hug to make this video emotionally charged. But to a lot of people, it just comes across as overly melodramatic. Plus, MamaMax apparently did not mean what he said in that apology. Most people would move on and try to become a better person after apologizing. Well, MamaMax instead allegedly tried to sue small content creators that were criticizing him, and this is kind of why I say you should take everything I say with a pinch of salt. There are even people that claim that the victim MamaMax is talking about, named Spencer, herself is a horrible person who manipulates MamaMax into spreading lies and stuff, but once again, do your own research if you want to be better educated on the whole situation. There are a bunch of videos talking about her and not only MamaMax himself. But then, MamaMax also made this.
I don't want to be too mean to Charlie.
I literally love you, Charlie. I literally love you, dude. I think I would not be doing all of this if I didn't like you. Okay? Are we clear? I don't hate you. I know I'm a little unhinged. Oh, my MamaMax is unhinged. Okay? For good reasons. For honestly, for the right reasons.
This guy seems like someone who needs to be thrown in the mental asylum ASAP. And this is yet another reason why talking about serious topics is extremely difficult. It is because talking about such dark subjects is not good for your mental health. Stuff like this messes you up. When you have a career where you speak about some of the most morbid stuff going on in this world on a daily basis, you eventually become morbid yourself. I truly believe MamaMax needs to get away from the internet for a while, and he needs to get some sunlight, and he needs to leave this job with spreading awareness about evil cults to professionals. I really admire your efforts to help out all the victims of such cults, but with the way you're going about it, you're not helping anyone. You need to seek therapy.